Good evening and welcome. You're watching Left, Right and Centre with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Two stories that we are tracking on this show. Story number one, a few days ago, we got you a discussion, a debate and an analysis on how there is an HR management crisis in the Congress party. A case study in how not to manage an HR crisis, that people are leaving one after the other. There is an unresolved crisis in Rajasthan, unresolved crisis in Chhattisgarh, in other states also. In the context of Karnataka also, you've got a fight between Siddaramaiah and DK Shiv Kumar, who on NDTV both claim that they are in the running for the post of the Chief Minister. Again, this is unresolved. But you see, it is not just the Congress party which has HR management issues. Now even in the BJP, especially in the context of Karnataka, in the wake of an already delayed list, there is an HR crisis. Leader after leader now coming out, either sulking or leaving the party. Now you can shrug this off as general stuff which happens ahead of elections when lists are announced, but also look at it from the point of view of managing a potential crisis. So that's going to be discussion number one. Discussion number two is about opposition unity. We debated yesterday on whether this is a pipe dream or a possibility. Today we seem to have some idea of what the Congress party and JDU particularly are planning to do. Now post the Pawar bomb, one thought that the opposition will find it difficult to get together. But an attempt yet again has been made by Mr. Nitish Kumar and the Congress party. And we have some amount of idea of what the opposition is planning. They're planning something called Project OSOC. This is the plan. OSOC project for 2024. And what is this OSOC project? One seat, one candidate, which means for every BJP candidate in 543 Lok Sabha constituencies, there will be only one candidate from the opposition, which means a united opposition candidate. Now here is the thing. Is this even possible? Can this even happen? Will it happen? Nitish Kumar and the Congress party feel the step in this direction is being taken, and others, other like-minded parties must join along. Will that happen? That is going to be the big discussion. But first, let's begin with topic number one, Karnataka, managing fragile egos and insecurities ahead of elections. All right, joining us right now is Dr. Nasir Hussain, Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress, Tanveer Ahmed, spokesperson of the JDS, Sugata Srinivas Raju is a senior journalist, and Vijay Prasad, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Hussain, I want to ask you the first question. You see, a lot has been said about the Congress's internal HR or human resource crisis in the context of Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, in other places. But if you look at Karnataka, while it appears that the issue of who is going to be Chief Minister remains unresolved, do you feel that there is a similar crisis in Karnataka in the BJP as well, where leader after leader is either resigning, is unhappy with the list, and some of them who are saying, who are now openly defiant, their supporters protesting, saying that come what may, I want a ticket, like Mr. Jagdish Shettar?
See, I would like to make 2-3 points here.
Sure.
Point number one is there is no leadership crisis in Karnataka, and Congress, wherever we have a Congress Chief Minister, we go with the Chief Minister as the leader of the campaign in that state. Where we don't have a government, we generally go with collective leadership. We don't pronounce our chief ministerial candidate because according to the constitution of Congress party, it is the CLP which decides its leader after the elections. So this is very clear. There may be n number of candidates. There's no bar on people having, leaders having aspirations to become the chief minister, having ambitions to become the chief minister. So this is point number one. Point number two, we are ahead in the election preparedness. All our issues are settled. Well in advance, we have released 80 to 85% candidates for the elections. barring 1 or 2 seats, there has been no major revolt in the party. Not people are not left the party except 1 or 2 cases where they were very desperate to fight the election. And point number 3, as far as BJP is concerned, I would not like to comment on their internal matters. The fact remains that BJP has been in jittery. They have no clue as to how to counter that 40% commission sarkara in Karnataka. They know this government which was illegal, unethical and immoral, which had broke down the alliance government of Congress and JDS in the state by threatening, by blackmailing, by paying huge sums of money. So that government has not taken off. There were so many communal riots, there were divisive politics, emotional issues were raised, lots of corruption cases against their own minister, one of their own karyakarta committing suicide. Every department there are allegations. Even forget about everyone, even the Swamis from the Matas came out and spoke about corruption in the grants that were given to them. So this is the state of affairs.
Sure,
and we can very well understand why BJP is in jittery, why there is so much of confusion.
Mr. Vijay Prasad, I want to ask you this question. You see, the BJP thoroughly enjoys commenting on what many commentators call an HR management crisis in the Congress party. How about your own HR management crisis in the BJP's Karnataka unit? Whether it is 6-time MLA Jagdish Shettar, who has refused to toe the party line, or Mr. Lakshman Sawadi, who is a senior BJP leader who has quit the party, and also Minister Angara, 5-time BJP MLA S. Angara, who has threatened to quit the party. I mean, there are various other incidents also and names also, 3 or 4 more. But I guess you understand the point that I am making.
Yeah, thanks, Sanket. I would like to start with the saying, Modi hai to mumkin hai. The opposition is still baffled and trying to understand the phenomenon called Modi. We have clearly proved that BJP is a party with a difference. So, having said that, we need to scale up to the aspirations of our Honorable Prime Minister Modi, and we all know Karnataka has got a special status, special place in the map of India, and certainly we cannot miss the bus. Fresh face, new ideas, next generation leaders are given tickets to contest this election. At the same time, it is a mature mix of experience in the first list of 199 contestants.
No, you're not answering my question, Mr. Prasad.
It is the need of
the point is, if something similar had happened in another political party, you would have commented, you would have loved to comment on the fact that they don't have their house in order. And in Karnataka, as many as 6 people are upset.
Sanket, let me come to the point of what you call it as a HR management. The party, BJP is a party with a difference, and it is a matured party, and the leaders and the karyakartas are matured leaders. And we have our own internal process on how to deal with sometimes what happens is, there might be people who are aspirant for the tickets, there might be some discontent, and party is really matured enough to handle these kind of discontentment. And absolutely,
I'll tell you what, Mr. Prasad, you see,
we will ensure that the
Sugata Srinivas Raju, you see, there was another state where the BJP had a huge rebel problem, and that state, however small, was Himachal Pradesh, and we all saw the result. So a rebellion in the ranks is never good, and we have seen this play out electorally. Do you feel that it will hurt the prospects of the BJP in Karnataka?
No. See, having said that, you cannot compare a state like
Mr. Raju, please.
Karnataka is...
Thank you, Sanket.
This question was for Sugata, please.
Yeah, thank you, Sanket. See, largely the BJP list, this whole issue of rebellion is a little exaggerated. It's a largely a status quo list. Only 6 or 7 people who were sitting MLAs have been dropped. From what I was expecting as a journalist, I thought there will be a complete overhaul of the existing, assembly. I mean, I thought 30, 40 people would lose their seats. And there were a lot of guesses being made as to who would lose. In fact, we even thought Mr. Bommai may not get the Shigaon seat. It was, the rumors were so rife yesterday morning as well, even before the ticket was announced, that a lot of changes will be made. And that was, we thought BJP's way of fighting anti-incumbency. In fact, Karnataka, the HR problem is not from today or yesterday. It has been there for a very long time. And I don't think the central leadership of the BJP ever looked at Karnataka after they changed Mr. Yadurappa. Mr. Bommai has not been, running the state in the manner in which other chief ministers of the BJP have been running their states. He has had a lot of problems. And compared to what we thought would be the upheaval in the BJP list, what has happened yesterday is absolutely nothing. I mean, that's a fair reading of the whole thing. And you mentioned a few names like Shettar. People like Shettar don't seem to have any kind of, mass appeal or anything. He's been a man who has survived on luck and sheer luck. Yesterday in my tweet, I called him a gold standard of mediocrity. So I don't think he matters. And, you mentioned another name called Savadi. And this Savadi person anyway did not win the last time. He lost to a congressman called Kamati Halli, who was later inducted to the BJP. He crossed over. And he has a network with other people in that region, like powerful people like Ramesh Jarkihuli, who had to resign because of a alleged porn kind of a thing. And Lakshman Savadi himself was a person who was allegedly caught viewing porn in the assembly.
Oh, it's the same guy, is it?
He's the same person who was lost. So if you look at that, and if you look at Raghupati Bhatt, another candidate who has not been given the ticket, he is another person who was greatly involved in this hijab thing. So despite his grand involvement in the Hindutva cause, he has been denied a ticket in Udupi, and he has been a long time sitting.
So then why do you say that this is a no surprise list? I mean, some tough actions have been taken by the BJP. Obviously not the overhauling that we saw in Gujarat or some other states.
No, there's not. As I mentioned to you, it's a largely status quo list. The one or two surprises is that Somana, who was a housing minister, has been made to contest from 2 seats. And then Ashok, who was a revenue minister and formerly a home minister, has been made to contest from 2 seats. And they are taking on DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. And both of them know the electoral game well. So I think they are putting some resistance there.
Sugata, then do you feel that the sort of experimentation that we know of the BJP to be doing in other states, that same level of experiment has not been done in Karnataka?
No, so I would expect Mr. Modi to come and weave a certain kind of narrative. We don't know what that narrative will be. But it certainly doesn't look like it's going to be the Hindutva narrative, because, they have brought back caste in a very, very big way. The way they have tinkered with caste reservations in the last 2 months gives you an indication that they don't want to go with a universal kind of electorate, but into a more balkanized, caste-based kind of voting system is something they're falling back. And that is indicative of the fact that the BJP does not want to take huge risks in Karnataka. Because Karnataka, anybody who has been watching Karnataka for years will know that caste is a very central idea around which votes are mobilized. So we thought the BJP and Modi and Shah and Nadda regime would sort of invert that. That has not happened. So if you also look at what has happened with Yadurappa's followers, a lot of them have been made happy. They've been given tickets. Yadurappa's son has been accommodated. So if there are 2 or 3 large factions inside the BJP, I would say they've all been kept happy, and the BJP high command has not taken any risk. This is my reading of it.
And you basically suggest that some small ones have been left.
Shettar rebellion will mean nothing. If Shettar had probably accepted the verdict of the Central High Command, they would have probably pushed him into some Raj Bhavan somewhere. He has lost that opportunity, that's it. I don't think he matters in the game that is going to be played.
Okay, Tanveer Ahmed, the JDS, a party which is known as the kingmaker in a time of a crisis, because more often than not, Mr. Tanveer Ahmed, parties end up needing your support, and that is how the power play in Karnataka really is. So as you watch from the sidelines, the fact that the Congress may be trying to settle a leadership issue in a post-election scenario, and BJP, which is trying to deal with, on one hand, as Sugata mentions, a no surprise list, and yet with 6 or 7 issues of rebellion. What is your assessment?
See, let me just tell you, there is only one party which is working totally differently. The only party which has a chief ministerial face is JDS. The only party which is working on issues based of Kannadigas and Karnataka, whether it is Pancharatna program of Mr. S.D. Kumaraswamy, or whether protecting, promoting and propagating the farmers issue, or the KMF issue, or Amul and talking,
Amul
is Janata Dal Secular. I would not say versus, I would say that this is to protect our identity. KMF is our identity. 70 lakh farmers' lives is dependent, so we would definitely do anything and everything to protect his identity, unlike both the national parties, which has presence even in Gujarat and in Karnataka. We have only one presence, only one.
Mr. Tanveer Ahmed, I hope you must have heard the statement of the MD of Amul. This milk sub-nationalism, do you think this is going to work? The MD of Amul very clearly says that we are not out there to harm Nandini. They have their own market.
See,
we are going to cater to a premium market. Nandini milk is for 39 rupees a litre. Our milk will be at 54. I'm sorry we are digressing, but since you brought milk, this milk sub-nationalism.
We are absolutely not. We are speaking a Kannadiga, and we are definitely not digressing the issue. We are certainly speaking Karnataka and Kannadiga centric. Yes, the MD of Amul, being a businessman, would definitely like to speak a tune and tone, which is definitely what
I find something very
people
interesting
would definitely like.
Mr. Vijay Prasad is holding 2 bottles of, I don't know which company.
Mr. Vijay Prasad is holding 2 bottles of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. The only thing that they are talking about today,
Sanket, this is
one second, Vijay.
This is the
my time. Vijay,
this is the pride of Karnataka. This is Nandini.
One by one, please. Gentlemen, one by one. Please, one by
Vijay
one.
Prasad, it is my time. Let me finish. The only thing, if at all you just ask BJP any question, what is happening about crisis of jobs? They would say Narendra Modi would solve. What is going to happen with the farmers issue? Narendra Modi will solve. What is going to happen to your crisis here in Karnataka? Narendra Modi has not solved any issue of Karnataka and Kannadigas. Why are you really looking at only one face?
Okay,
we
Vijay
need to
Prasad.
really talk about
Vijay
the issue
Prasad.
which is pertinent, progressive and progressive towards
Vijay
Kannadigas.
Prasad, do you find the Bharatiya Janata Party pushed to a corner because, Narendra Modi and Mr. Dr. Nasir Hussain can also come in here. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah are known as, or at least this is the image that they have built, that they will whip something magical around, in an anti-incumbency will be converted into the biggest possible win in Gujarat, and yet there is crisis of leadership in Karnataka.
Sanket,
And then you can't even really experiment too much with your list, as Sugata just mentioned.
No. See, when the opposition does not have any thing to point out, the only thing that they blame is Modi and Shah. And this is quite expected of the opposition parties like, say, JDS and Congress. They don't have any concrete thing to tell and comment on. See, as far as though we try to digress on the topic, so let me take, and my friend Tanveer was commenting on Nandini. Okay. See, Nandini, this is the political one they started, and we are going to end that politically. Just because Amul is from Gujarat and Modi and Shah are from Gujarat, just to oppose these 2 gentlemen, they are trying to oppose Amul.
I thought Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He is not from Gujarat or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. I thought he's the Prime
Okay, 1
Minister of
minute.
India.
My topic of discussion is not Nandini and Amol, please.
Narrow mentality.
Should not. You should
It shows your narrow mentality. You want to believe Narendra Modi confined to Gujarat. I thought he was Prime Minister.
Okay, I'll have to come in here. The topic of discussion today is not Nandini and Amol, please.
Let me come back to the point of the Karnataka election.
Yeah.
See, Karnataka election, we know we have given the list of 189 people, and as I told you initially, after releasing 189 candidates, both Congress and JDS, they have jitters. They are having sleepless nights because they are not in a position.
Now, what will you say about Sugata's assessment that this is a very status quoist, which is contrary to the BJP's nature?
Analysis. That is
No, not analysis.
Only
There is enough evidence and proof that you like doing big bang
which can ensure equitable
ahead of every
and
election.
universal
What happened in Karnataka?
BJP is the only party that can ensure equitable and universal.
Dr. Nasir Hussain. Dr. Nasir Hussain, according to Mr. Sugata Srinivas Raju's assessment, the BJP has had to go back to basics, contrary to their nature, which is to go for big overhauling and big change.
Sugata was telling that he did not find any new in the list. See, we have 52 new faces.
Can I speak, please?
Yeah, Dr. Hussain, please, last
Other
comment.
than BJP. We have 30.
Madam, you should stop.
Dr. Hussain, please, Dr. Hussain, Mr. Prasad, your time is up, please. One by one, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Hussain. Yeah.
See, I think it is very clear why the Bharatiya Janata Party is in jittery now, why they are again sticking to the old rules of politics and electioneering now. They know that they are not even started their election preparedness. Only yesterday that the list was out. They know that they are caught very badly in this trap of corruption, and the entire voters in Karnataka are convinced that this is a corrupt government. And you were speaking about Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi coming and waving a magic wand and turning the anti-incumbency into pro-incumbency. The only way they can do is polarization. The only way they can do is bringing up divisive and emotional issues. That is the only way they do in every election. But I am sure in Karnataka by now people have understood their game. People know what are the issues. People know whom to vote.
No, Mr. Prasad, I've heard. Thank you very much. I've run out of time, but I want to request Mr. Sugata Srinivas Raju that when I come to Bengaluru, when I come to Karnataka, please take me out to a flavored milk parlor of Nandini Milk. Because of all this controversy, I really want to try some. Thank you so much.
I will welcome you with Nandini packet. I can give you tons of Nandini.
No, I don't need tons,
We
sir.
can send that to you in Delhi.
There is a 7 kg limit on the flight. Thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, we have a milking crisis. Somebody is trying to milk this crisis or this controversy. We're stopping for a short break at this moment. Up next, we are going to talk about opposition unity. You see, the opposition is trying to work out on a formula which already existed, but they want to bring it back. What is OSOC formula for 2024? Back in a bit. Welcome back. You're watching Left, Right and Center. Now, on various programs right here on NDTV, many leaders of the opposition, while speaking in the context of opposition unity, have spoken about a concept which is not new in Indian politics. It has been tried. Now you can argue whether this has been successful, in the long run or not. That is a point of argument, but it has delivered certain results. Most recently in Bihar in 2015, the entire episode of Mahagathbandhan. This concept is called OSOC. Is the opposition working on this project? Now you wonder, what is OSOC? One seat, one candidate, which means to defeat the Bharatiya Janata Party, you field only one united opposition candidate from one seat and replicate this formula across 543 Lok Sabha seats. Is this an extremely ambitious project which the opposition wants to launch. Is this a reality? Is it possible? Or is this going to be a pipe dream? One straight effort was made today between the Congress party and the JDU, and they said, we'll get more people on board. That process has only just begun. Will this work or not? Let's put that to a short discussion. Dr. Naval Kishore, spokesperson of the RJD, Mr. R.P. Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, and Dr. Nasir Hussain, Congress MP. Thank you very much for joining us. Dr. Hussain, I want to begin with you first. You see, we had Mr. K.C. Tyagi on our show yesterday, who said that the JDU formula or the JDU idea of opposition unity is one seat, one candidate. United opposition fielding exactly one candidate. No friendly fight, nothing. Do you feel that this is an achievable formula and an achievable target ahead of 2024?
See, I would not go into the nitty-gritties of what the meeting took place and how the opposition unity will be achieved and what kind of seat sharing will be there in different states. There are different formulas advocated by different leaders and different parties in different contexts. But I would just like to state here from Congress party that we were able to achieve a larger unity of the opposition parties while the parliament was in session, especially this session, and before earlier also in last 4-5 sessions there were large large turnout in our protests. There were 17-18 parties attending the opposition parties meeting. This session it went up to 20 parties attending the opposition meetings, joint protests, joint press conferences, joint show of strength, joint issues being raised in the parliament. So I think the whole idea of meeting and discussing with the leaders is that we need to take these issues down to the people in the country, these issues outside the parliament, these issues to a larger audience outside the parliament. How do we achieve this? So I think there has been enough discussion while we were meeting in the opposition parties meeting while the session was on. Now I think to have better clarity and more clarity on that, we had this preliminary meeting today where Mr. Nitish Kumar ji, Mr. Tejasvi Yadav from RJD, Mr. Lalan Singh Saab, the national president of JDU, and from Congress party, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Mr. Rahul Gandhi ji, all these people were there in the meeting today. And then where we discussed and we set an agenda for ourselves. We said that we'll reach out to all the UPA constituents and also the non-UPA like-minded opposition parties, talk to them and see how we can take this agenda down to the people. At the same time, what we can do to bring more consensus and wider unity among the opposition parties.
Dr. Hussain, I think the only way you can do this is by way of a formula, right? Electorally, how do you ensure that you are successful can only happen, as Mr. K.C. Tyagi, who is now also with us, he said on our show. केसी त्यागी, आपने कुछ दिन पहले हमारे शो पर ये बोला कि नीतीश कुमार की तरफ से फॉर्मूला जो है वो है वन सीट वन कैंडिडेट फॉर्मूला. इतिहास में भी ये फॉर्मूला लगाया जा चुका है, ये किया जा चुका है, और विपक्ष की तरफ से अगर साझा उम्मीदवार एक उम्मीदवार हो तो बीजेपी को हराया जा सकता है, जिस तरीके से कांग्रेस को सन 77 में हराया गया था. आपको लगता है कि 2024 में ये संभव है?
देखिए, अगर विपक्षी दल ये महसूस करते हैं कि डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स के वायलेशन हो रहे हैं, कम्युनल फ्लेयर अप हो रहा है, स्टेट सेंटर रिलेशनशिप खराब हैं, उनके साथ जुर्म जातियां दमन हो रहे हैं, जैसे 77 में हुए थे, या करप्शन एक मुद्दा है, या जो जांच एजेंसीज हैं उनका रोल ज़्यादा खराब हो गया है, तो इन सारे सवालों पर जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ज़्यादा शिद्दत के साथ महसूस करेंगी तो 77 भी होगा और 89 भी होगा. और संकेत जी, मैं दोनों में रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूँ कि 77 में बीजेपी भी साथ थी, जनसंघ भी साथ थी, समाजवादी भी साथ थे, और 89 में तो लेफ्ट और बीजेपी दोनों साथ थे, जनता दल बीच में था. लिहाजा अगर कोई व्यापक बड़ी एकता बीजेपी जैसे बड़े संगठन के लिए और नरेंद्र मोदी जैसे सशक्त नेता के लिए अगर को बननी है तो 1 अगेंस्ट 1 करना पड़ेगा. जो नीतीश का फॉर्मूला है, मैं उस दिन भी आपसे कहा था, फिर रिपीट करता हूं, हमने 1 अगेंस्ट 1 का इंतजाम बिहार में कर लिया है। हमने आरजेडी से दोस्ती करी, 50 साल के रिश्ते हमारे कांग्रेस से खराब थे, वो हमने किए। सीपीआई, सीपीएम, सीपीआई, एमएल और जीतन राम जी की पार्टी, अगर जो दल ईमानदारी से बीजेपी से लड़ना चाहते हैं, पराजित करना चाहते हैं, तो नीतीश फॉर्मूला ऑफ 2024 1 अगेंस्ट 1 है।
One seat, one candidate formula is what KC Tyagi seems to be proposing, something which has been tried in the past. But RP Singh, you see, if we have to learn from history, then we know that 1977 and 1989, when one seat, one candidate formula was applied, and it worked also, but it did not last for very long. So you can ensure an electoral win, but then somehow it appears that there is not enough social glue to keep this alliance together. Is that what gives you confidence?
संकेत, फर्स्ट लेट मी संकेत, पहले मुझे इसी बात पे करनी चाहिए बात कि मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने हैं। हाँ, देखने में कोई बुराई नहीं है। आप भी देखिए, बाकी दलों के जो सदस्य वो भी देखें कि ऐसे सपने पूरे हो सकते हैं, नहीं हो सकते। परंतु 75 के अंदर इमरजेंसी थी, मैंने इमरजेंसी में काम किया है, इमरजेंसी के विरोध में काम किया है और देखा है मैंने 77 में कैसे मामला बना। आज देश में वैसे हालात तो नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। और 89 के अंदर भ्रष्टाचार पीक पे था, मतलब राजीव गांधी की क्रेडिबिलिटी बिल्कुल जीरो थी। और जिस प्रकार वो 400 सीटें जीत कर आए थे, उस प्रकार जिस प्रकार फिर बीपी सिंह ने बोफोर्स का सारा मामला हुआ, सारा मामला सबको ध्यान में है, तो वो हालत सबको याद है। परंतु 1 सीट 1 कैंडिडेट की भी बात कर लें, क्या ममता बनर्जी बंगाल के अंदर लेफ्ट पार्टी के साथ समझौता करेंगी? क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी और लेफ्ट पार्टी एक साथ जाएंगे केरल के अंदर? क्या बीआरएस कांग्रेस के साथ मिलकर चुनाव लड़ेगी तेलंगाना के अंदर? क्या आंध्रा के अंदर समझौता हो पाएगा कांग्रेस का वहां पर? क्या बीजेडी कांग्रेस के साथ समझौता करेगी? क्या अखिलेश यादव कांग्रेस को कहने एक मिनट दे दीजिए, क्या कांग्रेस को अखिलेश यादव 80 में से 8 सीटें दे देंगे क्या? तो क्या कि हाँ, सपने देखने में कोई बुराई नहीं। और ये जो दल आज इकट्ठे आप दिखा रहे हैं, ये तो वहां पर सत्ता में है, वहां पर इकट्ठे चल रहे हैं, वहां पर तो ये सत्ता में भागीदार हैं। और जो लोग सपने देख रहे हैं कि नीतीश बाबू को वो देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनाने का सपना देखते हैं, जब नीतीश बाबू खुद अपने आप को देश का प्रधानमंत्री देखते हैं, तो राहुल गांधी से पूछ लेना चाहिए कि क्या वह नीतीश बाबू को देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनाने को तैयार है? और कैसे प्रधानमंत्री जिनसे बिहार संभल नहीं रहा, बिहार के अंदर सासाराम और बिहार शरीफ में जिस प्रकार की घटना चक्कर चला, जिस प्रकार से दंगे हुए, सबने देखे। और वहां पर एक विधायक उनके ओपनली कहते हैं, एक मिनट दे दीजिए, एक विधायक कहते हैं हम मुसलमान बच्चे हमारी आत्मरक्षा में बम बनाते हैं, तो क्या हुआ? ये मैं नहीं कह रहा, उनके विधायक हैं मोहम्मद निहालुद्दीन, वो कहते हैं नीतीश कुमार की जबान से एक शब्द नहीं निकला। तो इस प्रकार का अगर मामला है, तो कैसे वो देश के अपने आप को प्रधानमंत्री बनने के लिए समझते हैं कि बन पाएंगे?
Okay, we get the perspective of the BJP. Dr. Naval Kishore, spokesperson of the RJD, you see, the moment there is a talk of 1 against 1 seat, 1 candidate, or any other formulations that Dr. Nasir Hussain is talking about, which may be, agreed upon by a few, or state-specific alliances and understandings between the opposition. You see, the BJP can always turn around and say, the Prime Minister has already mentioned that this is a coalition of the corrupt. सारे भ्रष्ट लोग एक साथ आ गए, उन्होंने कहा। ऐसे में, do you feel that this further emboldens the BJP in saying that, look, all of them had to come together to defeat us, and yet they could not?
Okay. Can I come in?
Yes.
Yeah. There is one way to look at the same thing. When Narendra Modi ji looks at opposition, he says that it is a collection of corrupt people. But when we look at BJP, it is collection of most corrupt people in the party. So leave that. That is for the people to decide. What I am saying, and that is important, is for opposition unity, is that each one who consider themselves as a party in opposition has accepted the fundamental premises that this government must go. इसमें कोई शक नहीं है, कोई डाउट नहीं है, ना आरजेडी में, ना जेडीयू में, ना कांग्रेस में, ना कोई भी हमारे साथ जो दल है विपक्ष में, सबके पास है ये प्रीमाइस है। और ये प्रीमाइस क्यों है? फॉर टू रीजंस। वन, जिस तरह से सरकार, दो सरकारें, मोदी 1 एंड मोदी 2, डिलीवरी के नाम पे जीरो है, कोई उपलब्धि नहीं है। अगर आप देखेंगे तो उपलब्धि शून्य, ऑलमोस्ट शून्य है कोई भी विकास के मुद्दे पे। और हमारे मित्र प्रवक्ता कह रहे हैं सपना देखना, सपना देखना तो फिर भी ठीक है, लेकिन इस सपना दिखाना, लोगों को, पूरे जन समूह को सपना दिखाना कि 2 करोड़ नौकरी देंगे, 15 लाख रुपए देंगे, सबको घर देंगे,
मेरा उत्तर ले लीजिएगा।
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, जस्ट वन मोमेंट
देंगे, ये सपना दिखाना तो अपराध है ना। ये अपराध मोदी सरकार ने किया है और कर रहा है। हमारा कहना है कि जो अपोजिशन यूनिटी जो आप जिसकी बात कर रहे हैं, वन सीट वन कैंडिडेट, ये तो पूरा अलायंस का ही फॉर्मूला है। बीजेपी ने जो जीत हासिल की है पिछले 2 चुनावों में, वो भी तो अलायंस के आधार पर किया है। अब समस्या क्या है मोदी जी की और भाजपा की या उनके सहयोगी संगठन की, कि उनके एक एक मजबूत घटक दल उनको छोड़कर बाहर आ गए हैं और वह बता रहे हैं कि यह सरकार, यह दल, यह संगठन जन विरोधी है, देश विरोधी है, पूरा कोई बात नहीं करता है, विकास का काम नहीं करता है, केवल बात करता है। ऐसे सरकार को देश हित में, संविधान हित में, लोक हित में जाना चाहिए। एंड दैट इज व्हाई there is a political environment in which all political party in opposition are trying to come together. How they will fight election, how they will contest, it will be decided. It is in the process and we will see its completion.
Okay, so the opposition says don't worry too much about how we are going to forge our alliance. Yes, Dr. Nasir Hussain. I'll come to you, Mr. R.P. Singh, for your right to reply. But Dr. Nasir Hussain, let me ask that question to you. You've already seen that the BJP has mounted this argument that, look, this is a coalition of the corrupt. All of them seem to be getting together just to defeat the BJP. So anti-Modiism is their big plank for 2024 and nothing else. How do you counter this narrative?
See, I want to make 2-3 points here. Point number 1, somebody said that after 1997 and what happened after 1998, after the election, what happened. I would like to counter that with 2004 and 2009. There's an UPA alliance before the election, and there was UPA election UPA alliance before the election in 2004 and 2009, and the alliance lasted for 10 years. So I think there's no doubt that whatever alliance will put in place before 2024 will last even after the election. My friend from RJD was saying that nobody left UPA. In effect, powerful alliance partners of the BJP left NDA. Where is Shiv Sena now? Where is JDU now? Where is Akali Dal now? And many others like BJD, YSRCP, BRS and TDP. They are having love and hate relationship with BJP and Mr. Modi. This is point number 1. Point number 2, I am again challenging the BJP chairperson, BJP spokesperson on the show. Why are you scared of JPC in Adani? Let there be a JPC. Then the whole country will know who is corrupt and who is not corrupt. Everyone will know from where the money is being laundered in 38 shell companies of Mr. Adani. So how is money going out and how is money coming out? Whose money is that?
Yeah, one
whose money is coming in PM case? There are so many other issues which will clearly show that BJP
you see, Dr. Hussain, see, you are raising certain issues. The topic of discussion today is about opposition unity and the formula that needs to be adopted. You just heard Mr. K.C. Tyagi. I'm drawing your attention back to that.
I am countering the arguments that have been put forth by the other people.
Yeah.
When they say it's an alliance of the corrupt, I am asking them how I'm trying to tell the people of the country how this party is corrupt. Why are they not constituting a JPC in Adani? Then doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani.
Okay, I'll give Mr. R.P. Singh a right to reply on that point. But my point specifically of this debate, Dr. Hussain, was how do you come up with this formula?
Let me finish. Let me finish. And the third point is that, see, there are several formulas. Our senior friend from JDU just spoke. He gave one formula. There are other formulas which the other alliance partners are putting forth. I think all these formulas will be taken care, will be seen, will be debated, discussed keenly. and after that we will arrive at a formula as to how the alliances will work in different states, how we will take on the BJP and the incumbent government at the center, which party will get which seats in which state. It all will be decided at the later stage. Now it's a preliminary meeting, and the idea is to reach out to as many as like-minded opposition parties as possible at this level.
Okay. RP Singh, your response. So one seat, one candidate is one of the many formulas, says Dr. Nasir Hussain. Not the only one.
Well, I was expecting answer from the RJD about Nihaluddin, who said, and you also didn't ask him that, is their formula of running the country is that asking the Muslim children to make bombs for their self-protection? I mean, that's what their MLA has said on record, and then no one from the RJD or JDU or neither
Yes,
Mr. Nitish Kumar has
Dr.
condemned
Kishore,
this,
I will-
neither he has been given a show cause notice. Can I complete now?
Yes, but I'm just telling you that Dr. Kishore will give a reply to this. The moment you conclude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I was expecting, I asked this question in the first round and I expected the answer, but it didn't came. And also, Shah Sahab, let's understand this. You speak of opposition unity. Your spokesperson, Alka Lamba, just recently said Mr. Sharad Pawar is a greedy man. And then you expect Mr. Sharad Pawar to be part of the alliance after this, and none of your spokesperson, none of your party leaders have condemned your spokesperson on this, that she has, she is a disgrace if he says this sort of words for such a senior leader. Other thing is, what Mr. Nasiruddin is talking about. He is talking about Mr. Adani's some 20,000 crore rupees or some figure, some shell company. How do they know about all this amount in shell companies? And let me answer. I think they know all this. Is it because this is money of Mr. Robert Vadra which is invested? Is it because of that you are making so much of hue and cry? Otherwise, no one knows this figure. How do you come to the figure? Your spokesperson day in, day in come and speak about this figure. You come and talk about the shell companies. And,
Okay.
And also, probably because how will you know? You don't know, Sanket, this figure. What's the source of the figure? What is the reason of the shell company? But otherwise,
all I know at this moment, one moment, Dr.
Give me a
Kishore,
second.
before you reply.
Give me a second.
All I know is right now the discussion that we are having is on the issue of the latest formula that one has learnt from
But 2nd
Mr.
February,
K.C.
2nd
Tyagi.
February,
Mr.
2nd
K.C. Tyagi proposes a formula.
On 2nd
We can have
February,
another
give me
debate
2nd
where we can
February,
discuss on the JPC issue and the Hindenburg report
on 2nd
later.
February, Mr. Khadge is on record asking for Supreme Court monitored investigation.
Dr. Naval Kishore's
and-
quick response.
Or JPC. That
On issues raised by Mr. R.P. Singh on your leader. And his
RP
alleged
Singh
comments.
also must answer first. We have never said anything about those content which are said in that way. हमने कभी उसको कुछ बोला नहीं है. आपके नेता जो देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, उन्होंने गांधी को जो गाली दिया खुलकर, उसके विषय में उन्होंने क्या किया? क्या वो संसद से बाहर हटाए? पार्टी ने कोई कार्रवाई की? जबकि गांधी जी को कोई गाली देता है, गांधी जी के हत्यारा को माला पहनाता है, और उसके बाद आप कहते हैं अरे आरपी सिंह, कभी आपको शर्म नहीं आएगी? अपने दल के लिए
Okay, I'm going to have to come in here. The very limited point of discussion that we were having is on this latest formula which has been proposed by the JDU, the Nitish Kumar formula of one seat, one candidate, which is not a new one, it's an old formula. Will it work or will it not? Dr. Nasir Hussain says this is one of the many formulas that will be discussed and debated upon. Thank you very much for joining us. So for the past few months, we've been getting you stories of this strange but extremely lovable friendship between Asaras Crane and Arif from Amethi. The authorities stepped in. You see, you cannot befriend and domesticate a Saras crane. It's an endangered species, so they took the Saras crane away. But now Arif went and met this Saras crane, and the crane got so happy, as you can see in these pictures, flapping its wings, in a way responding the moment the crane identified Arif. This is just a beautiful friendship on display. We have Arif with us, who went and met the crane. आरिफ, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत. आप ये जो क्रेन है, सारस क्रेन, इससे आप जाकर के मिले. सारस से दूर रहकर आपने क्या महसूस किया है आरिफ?
सारस से दूर होकर बहुत परेशान हूँ, क्योंकि वो मेरा दोस्त है। अगर एक दोस्त से जुदा हो जाता है तो आप समझ सकते हैं। और जब से वो वन विभाग घर से लेकर गई है हमारे सारस को, जो मेरा दोस्त था, तब से अभी भी हम घर नहीं गए हैं।
आरिफ, सारस से आप मिले, हमने उन तस्वीरों में देखा, तो आपको देख करके उसका रिएक्शन क्या था? कुछ तो हमको देखने को मिल रहा है, कुछ चीजें वीडियो में शायद नहीं आई होंगी, तो वो अगर आप बताना चाहें।
जैसे ही हमको देखा, हमने बोला हेलो दोस्त क्या हाल है, तो तुरंत पहचान लिया उसने, और उछलने लगा, तड़प रहा था, वहां हमसे मिलना चाह रहा था। वो बाहर निकलकर उसको शायद ऐसा लग रहा होगा कि अब आरिफ आ गए हैं, वो 15-20 दिन से कैद है, तो हो सकता है आज बाहर हमको निकाल के कहीं ले जाएं घुमाने या कुछ, पर ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं, क्योंकि वाइल्ड लाइफ का नियम है, जू का कुछ नियम है जिसका प्रोटोकॉल फॉलो करते हुए बस जितना हमको मिलने का टाइम दिया गया उतने ही मिले, उसके बाद वापस आ गए।
आपको वहां प्रशासन के लोग क्या बता रहे हैं? बीच में ये खबर आई थी कि उसने खाना पीना छोड़ दिया है, तो अब वो शुरू किया है कि नहीं? क्योंकि अभी भी वो एक एनक्लोजर में ही है।
वहां उसको एक छोटे से पिंजड़े में कैद किया गया है। कोई पिंजड़े में कैद होकर कैसे ठीक हो सकता है?
जी आरिफ, देखिए, हालांकि ये लगाव और ये प्यार और ये स्नेह तो हमने देखा, दुनिया ने देखा आपका और सारस क्रेन का, लेकिन शायद आप भी इस चीज से भली भांति परिचित होंगे कि सारस क्रेन एक पालतू जानवर नहीं है, एक पालतू पक्षी नहीं है, उसको आप घर में नहीं रख सकते। उसकी जगह जंगलों में ही है, उसकी जगह एक वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरी में ही है। तो इस लिहाज से आपको नहीं लगता है कि यही होना उचित था?
नहीं नहीं, उसको हमने घर में नहीं रखा था, वो सिर्फ मेरा एक दोस्त था और रहता वो जंगल में ही था। जब उसका दिल करता था, भूख लगता था, तो मेरे दरवाजे पे आके खड़ा हो जाता था, वो खाना खाता था, फिर अपने परिवार में जंगल में चला जाता था।
आरिफ, मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूं कि आप क्या करना चाहते हैं? आप क्या चाहते हैं कि सारस के साथ अब क्या हो?
नहीं नहीं, उसको जिस तरह क्वारंटीन खत्म हो गया तो उसे आजाद कर देना चाहिए, और मेरी यही दरख्वास्त है, उसको आजाद कर दे। किसी जो है पश्चिमी बिहार में उसे शिफ्ट कर दे, जहां वो पहले जैसी जिंदगी जी सके। अगर उसका दिल करेगा, अगर वो आना चाहेगा, तो फिर जहां उसको शिफ्ट किए रहेंगे वहां से उड़कर वो अमेठी आ सकता है।
आपने आरिफ अभी ये बोला कि ये जंगल में ही था और आपसे बस मिलने आ जाता था, तो मैं बस सोच रहा हूं ये आपसे पूछ दूं, आपका घर जंगल से कितना दूर है?
जंगल मेरे घर से थोड़ी दूर पे है, 1 से 1.5 किलोमीटर दूर पे।
तो आरिफ, आप चाहते हैं कि सारस को वापस शिफ्ट कर दिया जाए?
कहीं भी पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में ढेर सारे पश्चिमी बिहार हैं, कहीं भी शिफ्ट कर दिया जाए।
तो आप जहां मिलने गए उस सारस क्रेन से, आपके विचार से आपको लगता है उसको ठीक से रखा गया है, वहां पर उसकी देखभाल हो रही है?
नहीं, वहां पे वो एक पिंजरे में है, वहां पे क्योंकि वो उत्तर प्रदेश का राजकीय पक्षी है, तो पिंजरे में कैद करना हमारे हिसाब से सही नहीं है। बाकी जो नियम होगा उसको हम भी फॉलो करेंगे।
तो जो मैं समझ पा रहा हूं आरिफ, आपका ये कहना है कि सारस क्रेन को एक जगह बांध के ना रखा जाए, उसको जंगल में छोड़ दिया जाए कि फिर वो जहां जाना जाए अपना चला जाए।
जी जी, जैसे आम तौर पर सारस रहते हैं उसी तरह जो है वो भी रह सके, या कहीं ढेर सारे सारस हो उनके बीच ले जाके उसको रिलीज कर दिया जाए, जैसी मतलब नियम कानून जो हो उसी हिसाब से।
तो आप जो सारस से मिले हैं वहां वो किस कंडीशन में था?
जहां पे है एक पिंजरे में वो कैद है, उसमें और कुछ नहीं है, सिर्फ अकेला वही है।
आरिफ, अखिलेश यादव से लेकर के वरुण गांधी सब ट्वीट कर रहे हैं इन तस्वीरों को। इससे पहले भी अखिलेश यादव जो हैं वो आपसे मिलने भी आए थे जब सारस क्रेन अमेठी में आपके साथ था। आपको लगता है ये मुद्दा धीरे धीरे राजनीतिक होता चला जा रहा है?
नहीं, राजनीतिकरण इसको मत बोलिए, ये सब लोग सपोर्ट में हैं उस पक्षी को आजाद कराने की, कि उसको आजाद कर दिया जाए। जैसे पहले जी रहा था अपने हिसाब से, जब उसका दिल करता था उड़ता था, जब उसका दिल करता था जहां जाता था, वैसे ही फिर आने जाने लगे जहां उसका दिल करे।
थोड़ा सा अपनी दोस्ती के बारे में बताइए आरिफ, कि आपको ये कब मिला सारस क्रेन, और किस तरीके से आपका साथ इसके साथ बना?
ये 1 साल पहले हमको खेत में मिला था, इसका पैर टूटा हुआ था, इसका हमने इलाज किया था। इलाज करने के बाद फिर ये जंगल जाता और जब इसका दिल करता हमसे मिलने आ जाता।
आरिफ, आप राज्य सरकार या अथॉरिटीज जो हैं उनको कोई संदेश देना चाहते हैं?
यही कहना चाहेंगे कि उससे अगर क्वारंटाइन जब खत्म हो जाए उसका, जब जू के डॉक्टरों को लगे अब वो ठीक है, तो उसे कहीं भी किसी भी बर्ड सेंचुरियन में जाके रिलीज करते हैं।
एक बार फिर से मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि जब वो आपसे मिला तो उसके रिएक्शन में आपने कोई चीज नोटिस की, कुछ अलग?
तुरंत पहचान गया, वो उछलने लगा। मैंने उसे उड़ने के लिए बोला तो उसी पिंजड़े में उड़ने लगा। मैंने उसे उछलने के लिए बोला तो उसी पिंजड़े में उछलने लगा।
तो ये सारस क्रेन से अब आपका, जब आप साथ में थे उसके बाद ये कितने दिन का समय हो गया है अलग हुए हुए, और क्या बिल्कुल वैसा ही एहसास हुआ जैसे कि पहली बार मिले थे?
21 तारीख को वो मेरे यहाँ से ले जाया गया था, जो हमारे घर के पास खेत है उसी खेत में था। 21 तारीख को ले जाया गया। 21 तारीख के बाद आज पहली बार मिलने का मौका मिला था हमको।
मेरा आखिरी सवाल आरिफ, अब फिर कब मिलने आएंगे आप अपने मित्र से, दोस्त से?
नहीं, क्वारंटीन में कौन मिल सकता है? क्वारंटीन खत्म हुआ था परसों, तो कल हम गए थे मिलने के लिए। अभी हमने कहा दोबारा कब आ सकते हैं, तो बोले कम से कम 15-20 दिन बाद आइए। हम से सर 2-3 दिन में आ जाए, तो वहां डॉक्टर साहब बोले नहीं मिल सकते अभी।
आरिफ, थैंक यू सो मच, एंड मे योर फ्रेंडशिप विद द सारस क्रेन ऑलवेज स्टे अलाइव। थैंक यू सो मच।